What's up, guys? It's Panda again. Just here bringing you a red deck profile from my locals this week. So this time I decided to run Gallantmon instead of my Piedmon purple control. Really the only reason I ran this deck was because I got a new map with Omnimon on it, so I felt like I had to play some red or blue variant, and I decided that Gallantmon was probably one of the better options to play. So when I decided to build this deck, I kind of wanted it to kind of synergize with what I'm a little used to with purple, really just focusing on just nothing but removal, staying on top of my opponent, making sure that they're having a stressful time and they're pretty much not being able to play the game. So with that in mind, I packed the lineup with I think it was like 10 plus removal cards. So without further ado, here we start out. We're going to start out with 1 Yokomon, 4 Koromon, 3 Monodramon, 4 Guilmon, 3 Biomon, and 4 Agumon. Since this is a Wargreymon build, or Gallantmon build, and we're really focusing on removal, I felt like maxing out on Guilmon and really benefiting from that plus 1000 would be simple enough and extremely beneficial. Pretty much the theory work behind the Guilmon. I really enjoyed having 8 rookies that boosted my other cards. So I think this lineup is pretty solid. The only thing that I think I need to do is cut 1 or 2 Biomon or just max out on Monodramon so I can allocate cards elsewhere, and I'll kind of touch on that in a little bit. Next, let's move on to the champs. 4 Dark Tyrannomon, 4 Quadramon, and 3 Greymon from the starter deck. I think in all red decks, Dark Tyrannomon is pretty standard, same with Quadramon, so not much to explain there. Just really trying to survive with those level 4s and trying to get early damage in as best as you can. And then for Greymon, with Gallantmon's when attacking skill, I think that it really benefits, and I just think that he puts even more pressure on your opponent. So I know some builds decide to run the booster version of Greymon, which boosts his attack so he can get over things. I wouldn't say that I'm too keen on it. Even having this Greymon on board, people are really afraid of it. So if you have that level 4 on board, people tend to just kind of clear it. Just like I said, they're scared of that extra security attack, so they'll just get rid of it, whether it's by itself, whether you're about to evolve into it, whether something has something under it. That card will become a priority when it comes to targeting something. Okay, next let's move on to the ultimates. 2 Skull Greymon, 5 Metal Tyrannomon, 3 War Growlmon. So the theory behind War Growlmon is I'm kind of compensating for not running the other Greymon, level 4 from the booster set that we were just talking about. So along with the synergy of Gallantmon having to, removing things constantly from the field. So the idea is as you're moving up the evolution chain, you're constantly getting rid of something. So unfortunately, I didn't see my tamers when I really wanted them. So I would tend to hold on to my War Growlmons, my Gallantmons, so I could get off their effects, which I think that was something that I struggled with trying to play this deck, was today. So next, we have our Megas. We have 2 Volcanic Digimon, and then the 4 Gallantmon. The 2 Volcanic Digimon, I mean, it was okay. It helps against Rookie Rush, which I did play against today, so it did help, kind of. The thing with Rookie Rush is that when I finally dropped this, I gave him so much memory that they just swarmed the field straight back, and I actually ended up dropping one game in that match because of it. So then, of course, 4 Gallantmon, the big beefy boy in this deck, gets rid of something when he digivolves if you have a tamer, and then when he attacks, he trashes a security card for every 10 cards in your opponent's trash. So, I mean, he is your ultimate game winner. This deck doesn't really focus on playing Omnimon, so it's not too big of a worry, but I think he was really solid when I actually got him on board. Of course, the 2 Omnimon, since you know we are trying to be as competitive as possible, it's just 2, it's there when you need it. You know, it's probably not going to see it in your opening hand, so it's there for more just utility as it is, just to make sure that we're still clearing things as we're going up that evolution chain. So since we were running a Gallantmon build, we have our tamers that we're gonna play, so I thought that running 2 Shield of the Just was also really good. To be honest, I actually did use this quite often. I probably could have been a little bit more aggressive with it, just so I was getting rid of something under 5k, but you know, kind of waiting for that tamer to come out, I think is something that the deck really did struggle with. And 3 Gaia Force, I love this card, but of course since it's 8 cost, you know, more than likely you're gonna switch turns, and that was also the reason why I decided to play it at 3, since I was compensating for the Shield Adjust. I really like this ratio, but I think I have to play into the tamers a little bit more, and also since I decided to run the booster set Taikamiya, I think I probably could have been better off playing the starter deck version. So again, let's look at the overall scope of things. My biggest issues with the deck, of course, was the tamer problem. I felt like I was holding on to cards that I probably should just play because I was wanting to get off their Digivolve effects. But I mean, there's that sort of trade-off that you could either benefit from or, you know, lose out on, depending on if you had that tamer in play. And a lot of the times where I had the response in my hand, all I needed was a tamer, and those were every single games that I dropped, unfortunately. So for the record today, it was an 18-player local tournament. My first game was against Rookie Rush, which I went 2-1. Second one was it was actually a Omnimon Turbo deck, which I won 2-1, and then I played I went 2-0 against a black deck, which that being third round, we were both undefeated. And then finally at the last table, where it was top table last round, I went against purple and I ended up getting 2-0'd. So I got royally screwed in that last game, and for the exact same reason that I'm talking about now, just having the responses in your hand but not being able to do anything with it for the simple fact that you don't have that tamer in play. So things that I think I would change would potentially dropping down a level 3, bringing that count to maybe 13, and then adding another tamer and then switching these out for the starter deck version. Also, another complaint was that I didn't see many when I need them, I didn't see my level 5s. So that was something I think I struggled with as well. But overall, I think my first time playing this deck, the first time really getting a feel for this red play style, it's a lot of fun. It's very aggressive. It's very in your face to your opponent. Things that I think I would change, I think I would potentially switch out Volcanicdramon for potentially maybe either Phoenixmon or the booster Wargreymon, simply for the fact that you're not really caring too much about the rookies, because you can honestly just really beat through them. So I genuinely don't feel like Rookie Rush is a big problem against this deck, because as I'm playing them, or especially when I played them, they pretty much kill themselves and they destroy their own board, and so it wasn't really necessarily, there wasn't a reason for me to do it for them. So especially with running Wargreymon, as long as I see my tamers, then I probably would be better off, and the match would be a lot easier. So that being said, I think that was my biggest issue. So consistency was really strong. I mean, the ratios are pretty solid. I mean, I think there was only one game out of the entire 4 rounds that I didn't open a rookie, and when I did, I mean, I opened with Cordramon and a level 5 or something, and then I would be able to start, really digging into those rookies and spamming my board. So one thing that I will say about that purple matchup was, again, I mean, not seeing tamers really hurt, but I think red does kind of struggle with the purple matchup now that I'm playing it a little bit more. So when I played purple, I had said that I always felt like I was in control, always, on top of the game. Now, being on the receiving end of it, I definitely didn't feel like I was in control. If I did have a response, there was always a counter response. So I'm starting to get the feel that red can be a little on the weaker end when it comes to playing against purple. So what I think I might do is end up potentially switching out Wargreymon for the Metal Greymon that gives you more memory, just since your top end is so heavy that I think it would help you combo in a little bit quicker and a little better, and along with your high cost option cards, that definitely would be a little bit more helpful, being able to squeeze those in while you're comboing off. So I think that, and then putting one more into the tamer and switching those with the starter deck version, I think that would be really good, or going to a 2-2 split between the two. So I think those are the only real changes that I would make, along with, again, figuring out what I want to do with the Volcanicdramon, because I don't know what it is, but every time I see that card, it never ends well with me. So that's really it for today. I really just want to touch and give you guys something different. Make sure that you guys are kind of diversifying what you see in the meta, because this is stuff that you will see when locals start coming back, tournaments start coming back, and then I know you guys are potentially playing in that Saturday, Sunday first online Digimon tournament. So if you're participating, good luck in that, and catch you guys around. Don't forget to comment if you have any questions, and feel free to reach out if you need any questions or help deck building. Peace.